This course has 10 lessons in which you will learn the basics of chord theory, how to form major scales and chords, and how to use these chords to begin playing songs in all 12 keys. At the end of these lessons, you will find lead sheets for several well-known hymns and choruses, which will give you a chance to apply what you have learned as you gradually add new chords to improve the sound of these songs. So, let's get started. Lesson 1, Scales and Chords Overview. This lesson describes the notes of the major scale, how to form a chord, and how sharps and flats are formed and named. Here we see the musical alphabet. The first 7 letters of the alphabet are used to name music notes. These same letters are used to label chords. The first or lowest note on the piano is A. The last or highest note is C. A full piano keyboard has 88 keys. Lesson 2, Forming the Major Scale. This lesson will demonstrate how to form and properly name the notes of every major scale. Here is a quick overview of the piano keyboard with the white notes labeled. Notice the pattern of the keyboard that helps to locate the notes. C, D, and E surround the 2 black notes. F, G, A, and B surround the group of 3 black notes. The pattern of letters A through G repeats throughout the keyboard. The black notes are sharps or flats, depending on the white note that is being raised or lowered. A white note lowered a half step is a flat. A white note raised a half step is a sharp. If you are not already familiar with the note names, be sure to memorize them before continuing on with this lesson. Lesson 3, Constructing Major Chords. This lesson will show you how to form a major chord, play the 12 major chords, and to describe these chords by patterns that will help you to remember them. We will begin chord construction by starting with the major chord, which includes 3 notes of the major scale. To form a major chord, you will choose the root of the chord you want to form, tone number 1, then count up 4 half steps to the 3rd tone. From the 3rd tone, count up 3 half steps to the 5th tone. Lesson 4, Primary Chords. Now we're going to learn about 3 basic chords that combine to create the key to playing nearly any song. Keys and chords. The key of a song identifies the scale that its chords are based on. The root name, which is the same as the key name. A song in the key of C is based on the C scale, which has no sharps or flats and has a root chord of C. The C major scale is used to determine other chords that will be used when playing in the key of C. Now let's look at primary chords. Lesson 5, The Circle of Fifths. The circle of fifths is a very useful tool that will be helpful even after this course is completed. Taking the time to learn this information and to memorize the circle of fifths will be of great benefit as you continue to learn to play in all 12 keys. You will want to keep copies of the major scale and chord chart and the circle of fifths available for reference, as you will find it very helpful to refer to them often when constructing chords and scales and experimenting with chord combinations and progressions in different keys. Chord inversions. Chords can be expressed in different ways. By changing the order of the notes that make up the chords, subtle changes in the sound will be noted. This lesson will describe the various chord inversions, how they are formed, and how to name them. The end of the triads section is a pattern of triads constructed from the C major scale that will be helpful in predicting the types of chords to use in any given key. The first triad we will look at is one that you already know, the major chord. A triad is a 3-note chord. C major is formed with the 1st, 3rd, and 5th tones of the major scale. These chords based on the C major scale have 4 notes. They are illustrated with the root C as the first or lowest note. However, as previously illustrated with major chords, these chords can be inverted also, or played with the notes in any order. For example, for the major 7 chord, you simply add the 7th tone of the major scale to the major chord. So for C major 7, this would be C, E, G, B. Lesson 9. The extended chords will be explained in this lesson, and these chords will be applied later in the lead sheets portion of this course. For the purposes of this course, extended chords are chords with notes added beyond the 7th tone. These extend beyond the major scale into the next octave, including ninths, 11ths, and 13ths. There are many ways to voice these chords. Often, some notes are omitted in the voicing of extended chords, but for purposes of accurately identifying the chords, all of the notes will be illustrated here. Lesson 10. Introduction to Lead Sheets. This lesson will explain what lead sheets are and how to read them. Upon completing this lesson, you will be ready to move on to the Applying Piano Chords and Reading Lead Sheets section of this course and begin to play piano from lead sheets. The concepts learned in earlier lessons will now be applied to some well-known hymns and choruses. Major chords will be introduced first because, as you know, they are fundamental to all of the other chords. Here we have our first lead sheet, Amazing Grace, and we worked with this song a little bit back in Lesson 4. This is in the key of F. Note the 3 primary chords in the key of F. F is the root, C is the 4 chord, and B flat is the 5 chord.